What's up? No, I can't even do that. Alright. Hi everyone. Welcome to the first video in the guide. I'm making one of these because I've been doing a lot of mentoring recently and I'm noticing a lot of similar problems. It's not really a dramatic issue. It's just a big game concept. I said Asuri. No, wait. I did say Asuri. Fuck, I'm an idiot. Go Ember. Although Asuri works as well. Ember or Asuri, whatever you want. Yeah, there you go. Actually, it works as well. I want you to have a long range and a short range weapon. Alright. A lot of people seem to be a bit mixed up with playstyles. I think the transition from Plat to Diamond comes when you stop thinking of playstyles as, oh, this is how I play the game, and you start thinking of them as, I'm going to use this playstyle now, and I'm going to use this playstyle then, and I'm going to switch it up between them, and I'm going to know how to do both. Right? So there's like a whole bunch of different playstyles. Like I reckon there's about like 7 with 3 main ones, but we're not going to get too involved in that. Basically, the reason I'm making this is because I had an epiphany, if that's even the right word, where I was doing a bit of boxing recently, and I realized that there's a concept in boxing which is actually very easily applied to shut the fuck up, Emmy. There's a concept in boxing which is actually very easily applied to Brawlhalla when it comes to spacing, and I think it really helps for understanding when to play aggressive and when to sort of fall back. Right? So, the idea is that there are different range weapons in this game, right? So if Envy actually switches to sword and I switch to guitars, fuck you. Alright, go grab sword. Envy, stop moving, don't be too hyperactive. He's had no sleep, so, round of applause for Envy for being a legend. Okay, he's gonna stay right there. For the purposes of this video, when I say backing away, yeah, I don't mean like properly running away and going over here. Because if you do this, then you're not really achieving anything at all, right? You're too far away from your opponent to gain anything. If Envy does like a fully charged down sig, you know, and I'm all the way over here, so do a fully charged down sig, yeah? You're really bad at doing fully charged down sigs. Do a fucking, there you go. Like there's no way, I gotta run all that way before I can hit him. So I'm really not offering any threat to him. So that's not what I mean by running away. So go back to where I told you. So stand over there. Yeah. When I say keeping your distance, I'm talking about maintaining this spacing, right? This is the maximum distance you want to be from your opponent, basically, you know? Like, depending on the weapon they've got. And the reason for that is that if Envy does a side light, yeah, super telegraphs that I know it's coming. No, that's on a side light. It's very easy for me to back out of the way of it. If I don't move, it'll hit me. Yeah, so keep going, keep going. If I don't move, it'll hit me. But it's very easy. No, let me reset. You gotta let me land. It's very easy for me to back out of the way of it, right? And if I do the same thing to him, and be stopped for a second, you know, with my side light, yeah, it's very easy for him to get out of the way of it. Especially even if I dash, really, it's not that difficult. And if we're wiggling, it gets even easier. So that's the point. Both of us are pretty much safe, you know. Neglecting things like Ragnar's side sig and Lance side sigs and shit like that. Like for the most part, this is your safe position, right? So that's what I'm talking about. When it comes to closing the distance, it means coming inside over here, alright? So in my mind, the aggressive player is trying to get closer than this, yeah? So if Envy doesn't attack, yeah, go. That's what Envy's doing over there. While the parry player, yeah, or the defensive player is trying to maintain the distance. So if you do that again, Envy, like just as slow because my brain's not working very well, yeah? I'm moving away basically as fast as he's coming in, right? And the idea is that if we move a bit quicker, and we're both not bad at this, and hopefully I don't embarrass myself over here, without dashing, because I'm talking and it's hard to focus, we're trying to maintain, like I'm trying to maintain this distance, he's trying to close it. If I'm playing parry, he's playing aggressive. But if he suddenly starts running away from me, yeah, I'll start pushing towards him. So I'm always maintaining that distance. I don't want to be too far away from him. So if he's wiggling, yeah, going back and forth, yeah, then I'm trying to stay with him, yeah? That's what the parry player is doing. They're not breaking the distance, they're not coming closer, but they're not creating too much distance either. Alright, so now I'm going to get onto who wants to break the distance and who wants to maintain the distance, right? In boxing, this is very important because in boxing, one of the most important things which changes who wants to basically be running towards the other guy is range. How long are your arms, right? So if Envy stops fucking dancing, yeah, you'll notice that if I do a side light from here, yeah, that's as much range as I get. If Envy does a side light, he gets way further. And the idea is that right now I've got a very short range weapon. Like even if we compare our says, yeah, I've got a very short range compared to Envy. So Envy's got a lot more reach than me. What that means is that when we're this far away, yeah, stand still, Envy. When we're this far away, I'm barely threatening Envy. My side light barely hits him. But if he does a dash side light, do a dash side light towards me from that distance. Yeah? It's going not just hitting me, it's going through me because of all that range, right? So I'm in a lot more danger than he is because if we're this far apart, yeah, it's easier for him to hit me than it is for me to hit him. However, when I'm this close to Envy, suddenly this comparison, I suppose, that advantage he's got vanishes entirely, right? Because both of us can hit each other with pretty much every single attack we have right now, which means that neither player really has an advantage, yeah? And obviously that's going to change depending on, strings, like Gauntlet, the first hit's more important, Scythe, the first hit's more important than Hammer, for example, because, after the first hit you can do so much more. But, Envy, fuck off. The point is that in my mind, I'm at a disadvantage over here because Envy can outspace me. If we're just like hopping and sort of dancing with each other and I'm not breaking the distance, and his Sair, like Envy, just keep throwing out jump Sairs, yeah? No, that's a dash jump Sair. That's a high commitment. That's you breaking distance. Yeah. If you're just doing this, you see how there's a wall I can't really get through? If I try to close the distance, yeah, I'm going to jump right into that, right? So Envy can just space me out. He doesn't need to break the distance. For me, with Katars, if I want to do something similar to him, right, so let's say with Nair, because it's a bit more advantageous, I can't do it from this far away. So I need to first get closer, and then I can start zoning him out and doing the same thing that he was doing, right? And over here, if he's using Sair and I'm using Nair, it's basically a 50-50 who's going to win. In other words, his advantage vanishes, right? And it's an equal game. Although obviously if you're intelligent about the way that you approach, then it's way worse than a 50%, But there we go. So in other words, to summarize, and here's the main point, that was all just description, here's the main point. The person with a short range weapon, yeah, needs to break the distance to create an equal playing field. The person with a long range weapon wants to maintain the distance to continue their advantage, right? And that breaks down, and in other videos I'll explain the exceptions to that rule. But for the most part, you're going to see that's how it works. So if Envy and I both jump off because we're low HP, and then he grabs sword and I grab Katars, I left on items because I'm a dumbass. We're going to sort of play the game. And I'm going to be demonstrating how Envy, try space me out. Don't go crazy aggro like you usually do, alright? Like, the point is that if Envy goes aggro right now, if Envy breaks the distance, then he's doing my job for me. I'm happy, yeah? Because if he's just approaching me, then I just back away and I get that distance and I'm still pretty safe and it's hard for him to approach, and if he misses, I get a free punish, right? So the advantage, like normally, like me running towards him is dangerous for me, so if he's running towards me, that makes me happy because I don't have to do what I'd normally have to do. He's making it an even playing field for me. So if Envy was doing the right thing over here, Envy would be trying to space me out. He'd be trying to use that long range, Assuming all other things equal, like assuming that, we're equally good at pushing each other away and creating distance and all that different stuff, then he wants to maintain this distance. That's what you'll see in Diamond games, is that the person with the longer range weapon is trying to maintain the distance. So we're going to play now. Keep your sword. Envy, try and maintain the distance. And I'm going to show you what it's like trying to break the distance. So over here, yeah, he has the advantage. So Envy, you play normally, yeah? He has the advantage, right? I'm scared of getting too close. So what I'm thinking is, how do I get close to him? How do I get through this wall that is his long range? Because I can't use an attack to do it. I have to use movement. So I'm going to start moving smart. And once I've broken that distance, that's when I start going much more aggressive. So watching him, break distance. He threw out a bad attack, I got a punish. Now I'm close to him, yeah? Now I can start throwing out my attacks and using my close range. And it's so much harder for him, especially because Katars likes being close to him. I actually have an advantage now. So he needs to break the distance again. So Envy manages to break the distance. I sort of let him, yeah? He breaks the distance, and now he doesn't want me getting close to him again, because look what happened the last time I got close to him. So Envy is going to be a bit more cautious now. If you just do that, then I get a free punish. So you don't want to do that. And that's also a free punish. Yeah? You're doing my job for me by doing that, Envy. I'd rather you just space me out with jump Sairs and with standing neutralites and things like that. And yeah, exactly like that. Yeah. Just make a wall that's hard for me to get through. You don't even need to use attacks. By just standing there, the second I start moving towards you, you can punish me for it. So I need to think, how am I going to approach him intelligently, right? So I'm going to approach him like this. I'm going to jump over his head. I'm going to bait out like a fastball Nair. So it looks like I'm going for that. Yeah, it looks like that. That's sort of what he has to sort of expect. But instead I jump again and go for a Nair. You know, I'm approaching intelligently. And once I'm close range, I can throw out those attacks. Alternatively, when he's expecting me to jump because I've been jumping every single time, I suddenly dash in with an attack like that. And I do what's technically a disadvantage because my side light isn't as good as his neutral light, I suppose. But because he's not expecting it, I get a free hit. There we go again, you know? Especially on stage control. Like, this isn't even considering stage control. That'll be a different video. But right now, that's the play of the game. So let's say Envy fucking dies because Bucket's so good and manages to hit him with a side sig. And we swap weapons. So now Envy's got guitars and I've got guns. Now we've swapped around. I have the long range weapon and he's got the close range weapon, right? So in my mind, I'm zoning him out. I'm spacing him out. And hopefully I'm not bad at this. I'm actually pretty bad at it with guns. But we're going to play normally. And you can see that Envy's breaking that distance. Now he's moving towards me a lot more, right? So in my mind, I don't want him close. So I'm going to start trying to push him back with these... Oh my god, my fingers are frozen. Fast Fall says, best way to do it with guns. You know? Like that. Exactly. He's approaching badly. Great. I get free punishes every time he misses. Okay. Don't get too fancy, Envy. We're demonstrating over here. I know you're good. I know you're good. Alright. There we go. I start reading his movement. I start seeing the way that he wants to break distance towards me. I'm trying to position it as says that he jumps into them a lot of the time. Right? Once he stops going in the air so much, let's say he starts trying to go on the ground and doing the alternative, I've got my side lights. Oh, I missed that one. But you can see how I don't need to break distance. I can just as much from being far away from him. The only time he's managing to get damage on me is once he's managed to break that distance. So that's the play of the game, you know? Like, as cool and colorful as his strings are, the point is that I'm not even going to worry about his strings, because I'm going to focus on not letting him get that first hit, right? By just micro-spacing him out. I missed that one. I got unlucky there. I can hear him breathing, which means he's focused. Alright. There we go. Alright, the demonstration's sort of been made. That's the point. That's what you're trying to do. If you have the long range weapon, that's when you're parrying. Remember, parrying means not running all the way to the other side of the map. You're maintaining your space. You're using just the tip of your attack. If you're using a sword and you're using Sare, don't hit him like right next to him. Hit him with the very edge of that Sare. Hit him like as far away as possible, right? You're keeping him as far away as you possibly can, right? If you've got the close range weapon, then you are at a disadvantage and you need to find a way to break that distance. And I'll cover that in another video. You need to find a way of getting close to your opponent, yeah? Because once you're close to your opponent, even playing field, in fact, you probably have an advantage. Alright, I'm going to leave it over there. If there's any questions, you can DM me on Discord. This is mainly going to be for the people that I'm mentoring, so if any random people stumble into this through YouTube, then fuck you. I love you. Message me on YouTube and I'll answer you over there.